Mysterious disappearances, unsolved cases, and creepy missing person cases are more famous than ever thanks to the internet. While these cases may happen to someone else far away, the chances of someone you know disappearing are much higher than you think. Alongside normal people who go missing, famous celebrities also sometimes disappear, giving way to some bizarre internet mysteries. Number 5. 42-year-old Daniel Lind Lagerloff was a famous director, screenwriter, and producer in Stockholm, Sweden. Those who enjoy Swedish drama and Swedish cinema may be familiar with his name, and he's known for his distinctive Swedish noir-style films. In 2011, things were going well for Daniel before he went missing. For over a decade, he'd been married with 3 children. Unfortunately, there are a few details about the mysterious disappearance of Daniel that make his unsolved case all the more chilling. On October 6, 2011, Daniel and 2 members of the crew from the production company, Trey Vanner, set off into the great outdoors to scout a location for their next project. At the time, Daniel was working on a film adaptation of famous Swedish true crime stories, and all of those on the team were excited to see how Daniel would interpret them. Daniel decided to check out a nature reserve, a small island that sits close to the mainland of Sweden. This location was perfect because it was desolate, quiet, and provided the perfect scenery for his movie version of true crime stories. Unfortunately, the trip would end in tragedy, and within hours, reports on live TV told of a celebrity who went missing. The Swedish public tuned into the news to hear more about this missing celebrity, and news outlets soon began reporting that Daniel Lagerloff was the missing person in question. According to the local, Daniel split off from the crew, choosing to go it alone. The crew confirmed that they insisted that Daniel stay with them as the weather conditions were poor, with heavy winds and rain battering the island. Daniel was insistent about his scouting mission and walked over the rocks, never to be seen again. Due to the conditions, investigators believe Daniel likely slipped and fell into the ocean, although years later he's still never been found. Daniel's wife would address the public, thanking them for their help in his famous disappearance. Daniel Lagerloff is yet another celebrity who vanished and is still missing today. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Swedish police at 4677-114-1400 or 112. Number 4. Bison Dele, also known as Bryan Williams, is one of the biggest names in 90s basketball. Bison had a successful NBA career, playing with the Chicago Bulls and Detroit Pistons before leaving it all behind for a different life. Unfortunately, Bison is one of those celebrities who mysteriously vanished and remains missing, and nobody has ever been able to get to the bottom of this disturbing mystery to this day. In 1999, Bison decided that he had come to the end of his basketball days and walked away from a $35 million contract to travel to Lebanon. This move was huge news in the sports community, and many could not believe that Bison would walk away from such a huge contract. It appears that Bison wanted a more laid-back lifestyle, and after working in Lebanon for a while, he moved to Australia with his girlfriend, Serena Carlin. The two seemed happy and kept in regular contact with their families. That was until July of 2002, when the routine phone calls and texts mysteriously stopped. On July 4th, 2002, Bison and Serena, along with Bison's brother, Miles, headed out on his new sailboat with their friend, Bertrand Saldo, at the helm. The group had planned to sail from Tahiti to Hawaii, but they never made it. Somewhere along their trip, something disastrous happened, which resulted in the mysterious disappearance of Bison. By late 2002, friends and family of Bison and Serena became worried. The two had not made contact with anyone since July 8th, and now there were fears for their safety. It was extremely out of character for Bison to disappear like this, and when he failed to update his family about the trip, they knew that something was wrong. Their arrival date came and went, but there was no sign of Bison. His family soon reported the mysterious disappearance of Bison and Selena. Despite a lengthy investigation, no sign of the trio has ever been found. There's another strange twist to this infamous missing person case that comes from a peculiar source. According to an ABC article, Bison's brother, Miles, had forged his brother's signature in order to buy $152,000 in gold. The most mysterious piece of evidence was found months after Bison's unsolved disappearance, with the boat that he'd been sailing on being found docked in Tahiti, registered under a different name. The boat had been repainted and renamed, and it also appears that parts of it may have been repaired and rebuilt. When the boat was discovered, Miles was questioned and told investigators that a fight had broken out on board, with Bison taking the lives of Bertrand and Serena, before Miles acted in self-defense. Miles claimed that he threw them overboard and made other efforts to ensure the missing people were found. Miles's horror stories were inconsistent from the start, and it's hard to discern the truth of what really happened on the boat that day. Unfortunately, the FBI files lacked the evidence needed to bring about a conviction, and to this day, Bison's disappearance is another case of famous people who have gone missing, never to be found. Some agencies report that Miles, Bison's brother, had initially set off with them, while others report that he had joined them later on the trip. Miles passed away in September of 2002 without ever revealing what actually happened on board that day. Anyone with information is asked to contact the FBI at 1-800-225-5324. Number 3. Before he vanished, 24-year-old Daniel Robinson was described by his father as happy and full of life. Daniel was working in Buckeye, Arizona as a geologist, and was incredibly proud to be living out his dream. In 2021, Daniel would disappear under mysterious circumstances, and thanks to the tireless efforts of his father, Daniel's case has become one of the most famous internet mysteries regarding mysterious disappearances. On June 23, 2021, Daniel was on site at a job in Buckeye, Arizona. Daniel was employed by Matrix New World Engineering and was famous for his brilliant mind. On the morning of June 23rd, Daniel arrived at the site as normal, but his colleagues noticed that he was acting strangely. Daniel was usually on the ball, but this morning he kept staring into space and talking about things that didn't make sense. After being at the job site for around 15 minutes, Daniel hopped back into his Jeep Renegade, only to become a missing person who has never been found. According to a Rolling Stone article, Daniel's father, David, was contacted after Daniel was missing for work later that day. Daniel's family checked his apartment, but there was no sign of Daniel. The family knew that something was wrong and contacted the Buckeye Police Department to report him as a missing person. Since that warm June day, David Robinson has remained in Arizona, spending his retirement money on accommodation and search efforts to try and find his beloved son. Aerial searches, ground searches, and teams of officers were dispatched all over Buckeye, but no clues were found. It wasn't until almost a month after Daniel's disappearance that the first clue came in this puzzling case. On July 19, 2021, Daniel's missing Jeep Renegade was found in a ravine just a few miles away from where Daniel was last seen. According to ABC 15, the car had been involved in a rollover, and the collision reports showed that the vehicle had experienced more than 40 ignition cycles. The airbags in the Jeep had been deployed, and according to David, there was an extra 11 miles on the car after the crash had occurred. Daniel's clothes were also found near the car, and his wallet and phone were found inside the car. Since then, there have been few clues, and both the Buckeye police and Daniel's family are desperate to find him. Daniel Robinson is described in his missing persons report as an African-American male, with black hair, brown eyes, 5'8" and 165 pounds. Daniel was born with a partial right arm at the forearm and has no right hand. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Buckeye Police at 623-349-6411, quoting case number 21062-3079, or the family's personal tip line at 844-602-0660. Number 2. Superplanet Dolan is a hub of happiness and nostalgia for those who spent their formative years on the internet. The channel is an animated version of the famous Planet Dolan channel, and over the years it's seen major growth. However, in 2016, this innocent channel would get caught up in one of the most bizarre internet mysteries to ever hit YouTube. The Super Planet Dolan videos featured a popular animated character named Shima Luan. Shima was well liked by the audience, and would appear in videos with Dolan's animated character. Everything for Dolan, Shima, and the team seemed to be going great. That was until late 2016, when the channel posted a bizarre and somber video addressing the future of the channel and its other projects. Viewers were concerned, thinking that the channel was abruptly coming to an end. But what Dolan revealed was much more mysterious. In the video, Dolan explained how Shima had cut off contact with everyone, and nobody had been able to get a hold of her. They rounded out the video by stating that they believed Shima was safe, but that she had not made any recent contact, and for all intents and purposes had gone missing from their lives. After this, Shima disappeared from Dolan's videos, and the internet mystery only deepened. Fans of the channel and Shima were incredibly worried for her well-being, and since her abrupt disappearance in 2016, there have been few updates. Some speculate that Shima disappeared due to health reasons, while others believe that there's something more sinister behind the vanishing of this famous online celebrity. Number 1. With over 2 million followers on Instagram, Jessica Stein is famously known as being one of the most influential bloggers of all time. Thanks to Jessica, brands witnessed the power that social media could have when paired with influencers, and soon Jessica was racking up sponsorship deals and becoming an internet celebrity. But then in 2020, everything went quiet. Jessica's profile was once a hub of activity, with posts and stories being updated daily. But it has now fallen silent, and fans are incredibly worried. No matter how hard people dig, nobody has been able to get to the bottom of this internet mystery regarding the celebrity's disappearance. In January of 2020, Jessica made her final post on Instagram, talking about the wildfires that had been ravaging Australia. She was also open about her daughter's complex medical condition, but nobody ever expected her to go missing on social media. Ever since posting about the wildfires, Jessica has been totally silent, and many are worried for her and her daughter's well-being. Many news outlets and fans have tried to contact Jessica, but so far, all attempts have failed. Some speculate that Jessica has taken time away from social media to focus on her daughter, who requires complex care, but others are not convinced. Whatever the case, everyone wishes Jessica and her family well, and everyone would like to see this bizarre internet mystery solved once and for all. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to keep up to date with all of our future uploads. But my name is Ty Knotts, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.